What's up, y'all, and thanks for stopping by the Surge T channel. I am Surge T on a much better night than Raw. NXT, the Championship Edition. We got two titles being defended tonight, both tag team titles. One for the NXT Women's title and one for the NXT Tag Team titles. Did I say NXT title? I mean NXT Women's Tag Team titles, and then the NXT Tag Team titles. But let's go into the night, and it begins with Ember Moon taking on Kaylee Ray. Kaylee Ray kind of called her out, called Ember Moon amongst her and other women in the division. And so she takes her on. And in the end, Kaylee Ray defeats Ember Moon by reversing an attempted backslide. And she hits the Gory Bomb. And, Kaylee Ray does set her dominance, and she does set a precedent in her victory, taking on and defeating a former women's champion. And Ember Moon, well, we'll see what she talks about later on. NXT goes multicolor next Tuesday, September the 14th. It's going to be a pretty damn good show. All the matches they announced for them actually is going to make for a great night. But what is going to take place? We've been seeing all these vignettes, all these ads, all these, you know, previews, multicolored paint being thrown at the logo. We know Vince McMahon is taking over NXT. What's going to happen? What's going to take place? Gotta wait and see. Then Indy's Bachelorette Party. Next week on the 14th, that's one of the things that's going to be happening is their wedding, her and Dexter. And some of the ladies there are doubting whether or not their wedding is going to happen or even be successful. One of them says, WWE weddings, they never make it or they never work out, whatever she said. But she does definitely have a point. How many times has a wedding ever been successful? Unless it takes place outside of WWE in the sense that it takes place in their real lives, not on the screen. But, that's that. And we go back to Beth Phoenix. Beth Phoenix is like saying that she couldn't go to the bachelorette party, but she has a invitation to go to the wedding. And I'm like, we all are, Beth, because it's going to be televised next week. You're not special. We all got invited. So, what's your point? Anyway, Santos Escobar with Legado del Fantasma along with Electra Lopez, who was added to the mix last week or 2 weeks ago, whatever that was, and she took a pipe to B-Fab's, to her gut, kind of taking her out. And like I said, it's Santos Escobar versus Carmelo Hayes. And what does running the bingo mean? The bingo halls like in ECW? I hate when that is said. It sounds so stupid. I'm running the bingo. What does that mean? Is that a name for what do you call it? For a wrestling ring? The only bingo that I know that's connected to wrestling, like I said, is ECW, when they used to wrestle in the bingo halls. Is that what he means? Or does he run an actual bingo hall? Well, are you over there in the booth there, Santos, and you're calling out, B10, I20 something, whatever the numbers are that go with the odd letters, you know? And then a very good match, between Santos Escobar and Carmelo Hayes. Very physical, very athletic, very a lot of high offense, of course, because these two are probably amongst the best cruiserweights in WWE. And Escobar delivers the Phantom Driver and pins Hayes, so it's a rough start to his journey. Ever since winning the Breakout tournament, this isn't the way you want to start your journey into whatever title you're going to be challenging for, and he still hasn't made a decision. Now, the Creed brothers, introduced by Malcolm Bivens. We saw them last week. We saw them in previous weeks training. And they are Julius and Brutus brothers. They're national champs. And like I said, they are Diamond Mine's latest addition. Now, the NXT Championship No. 1 Contender match, Fatal 4-Way. Mentioned and announced by the GM, William Regal. It's Kyle O'Reilly, Tommaso Ciampa, LA Knight, and Pete Dunne. And all men had something to say throughout the evening. And you know that you look at it and you listen to them, and they definitely have a focus. There's different reasons why they want to be the champion, different reasons why they need to be the champion. You know, and they had their claims and stuff like that are justifiable. All four men who have held gold, except for yeah, all of them have. Tommaso Ciampa, former champion, NXT champion. Kyle O'Reilly, former tag team champion. LA Knight, former $1 million champion, and Pete Dunne, former and at one point the longest reigning NXT UK champion before before Walter surpassed him. So that's going to be a pretty good number one contender match. Fatal 4-Way. Anything goes. Anything can go. Anything will go. And let's see who comes out on top. If I were to choose, they may go with Kyle O'Reilly because I think they're going to finally anoint him as a champion. But he's going to face Samoa Joe, and that's no joke. We all know what Joe can do. Now, Creed Brothers, well, they are in tag team action. And they go up against Chucky Viola and Paxton Averill. And the Creed brothers, they're intense, they're brutal, and they are very, very just talented, and they're very, very hard hitting. These guys really just threw these dudes around. At one point, one of them just throws them over the top rope, and the guy Julius, he does a what's that move that he did? But he slams the guy down, and then he hits him with a clothesline as the guy seated on the mat, and that's pretty much overkill, the clothesline, because he already took him out with that slam, and then he ends up pinning him, and congratulations all around when it came to Diamond Mine, and they definitely picked a couple of diamonds in the rough with these two guys. Tyler Rust, who's he? And I think these guys are going to be pretty something. They're going to be something. They're kind of like I said, they're that kind of like they're like guys that got to be shined up. Like I mean, like see what diamonds. You gotta polish them up. You gotta keep working on it to make it really refined and really look really good and all that stuff. And these guys have a long way to go, in the sense that they're still young. They could definitely. There's nothing but going up with these guys, and I think Malcolm Bivens did a good job in picking these guys and adding them to the Diamond Mine. Now, she lost it all, and Kaylee Ray woke Ember Moon up, and now she knows what to do, and she just says to stay tuned. So, what is it that she has finally realized that she needs to do? We'll find out. Now, Hit Row. They are all about business. In regards to Legado del Fantasma, trash talking they've been doing, they're looking to apply pressure. And the joke's not on them. Now the joke is on Legado. And even B-Fab called out Electra Lopez and said, you hit me with a pipe. But she's like, well, what's going to happen when, pretty much that when it's time to face them, like with her. Is she going to, wrestle finally? And she's going to be taking on Electra Lopez? I'd see B-Fab. I'd see what she can do in the ring. She's been pretty much their hype girl, singing them and rapping them into the ring. And she's gotten involved with that pipe. She has some kind of ability there with that pipe, but let's see what she can do in the ring. I've seen Electra Lopez wrestle a few times, and it's okay in the ring, but when it came to the time she wrestled, I wasn't paying attention because she was going up against one of the top tier women in the division. So I'm pretty much looking at the superstar that she's wrestling, not her as much. So let's see what she can do. Now, NXT Women's Championship, Io Shirai and Zoe Starks defend against Casey Ganzaro and Kaden Carter. And in the end, we see that move, that pretty cool move, that knee strike. How does she have? How does Zoe Starks have her, and then she just spins her around and kicks her, knees her in the face, and then that sets up for Io Shirai hitting the moon over moonsault. Is that what it is? Because sometimes when they say it, I don't catch it, but I guess it's the moon over moonsault. It's the Acai moonsault, and she pins Catanzaro, and the champs retain. And just when you think that them losing, that's they had to lick their wounds, and then they could just go to the back. No, before that happens, Gigi Dolan and JC Jane come out along with Mandy Zorro Rose. I guess, they figured, well, the Sheamus angle with the base thing works. Let's use it on Mandy Rose, and they attack Casey Canzaro and Kane Carter. What is up with that? I thought it looked silly when Trish Stratus wore it years ago, but I think that was the first time that someone did that. It wasn't appealing then. I didn't like it then. And they're still going to use that thing, and they're already using it on the main roster with Sheamus. It's just like, what happened with her? Didn't she just got hit in the face, kicked in the face? Like, did she break her nose too, like Sheamus? Like, I guess you got to give these guys a gimmick. I guess that's gonna be use that to I don't know, help her character because she lost. She got counted out last week, and then and she didn't gonna do anything she didn't do anything on the main roster. She didn't do anything here. She wasn't. I don't even think she did anything. Mandy Rose, when she was on NXT before. There's nothing. There's like a, promise with JC Jane and Gigi Dolan. I didn't even know Gigi Dolan was Priscilla Kelly. That was her name before. I believe she was in AEW. I believe she was in, or maybe she was here in NXT and she went by her other name. But Priscilla Kelly, that was her name before. And I'm going, oh, that's Priscilla Kelly. Oh, okay, because I hadn't seen her in a long time, for a while yet. But they look good. They look like they can go somewhere. But Mandy Rose, like, I don't know. But let's move on with that. Dexter's Bachelor Party. And this Bachelor Party has Odyssey Jones and Johnny Gargano, Jacob Maverick, and a zombie ref. I thought Cameron Grimes had a problem with that zombie ref, and I guess Cameron Grimes said, hey, even zombies can have fun at a bachelor party. So let me go and get that guy. I don't even know if that was the same ref. I don't think it was the same ref that played the zombie ref during the Halloween Havoc. I don't think that's the same guy. But not only that, then of course, like I said, Cameron Grimes. And Cameron Grimes is footing the bill. They go karting, the axe throwing, laser tag. Even Odyssey Jones took a bet from Cameron Grimes. Cameron Grimes said, "Hey, can you make him go to the moon?" Like he always says. And he's bouncing on the damn trampoline, and he bounces on the trampoline area right where Jake Maverick is. Jake Maverick just goes up about 3 feet. I'm going, man, I thought he was gonna go up high. Like, did he botch that, or that was just a thing to just make what do you call it, flip, head over heels, if you will, And after all that, and they win the laser tag, and then Johnny, he high fives everybody, and then he puts his hand up like this. They're gonna do that thing that he used to do with Austin Theory, where they go like this. And then Odyssey Jones had to give Johnny a little push, and he kind of pats him on the back or something, and he ends up boom like that, and then in comes I call it Indy and and Candice LeRae, who said earlier at the bachelorette party they're gonna go, she had her spy gears. Well, let's go spying, and then they end up running up to him, and Johnny's like, "You spying again?" He's like, "Oh, no," and then she goes like, "Oh, look, we're on the same page." And he basically says like group hug, and then pretty much says, "Hey, we have a wedding to go to." So that's gonna happen next week on the 14th. So let's see how that goes. If anybody disturbs the thing, or someone says that I object, let's see what happens on that wedding. You know how it happens at these WWE weddings, whether it be in NXT or in the main roster. But let's see about that next week. Now it's time as Mei Ying competes for the first time on NXT. Now, as we come back from the break, we see Robert Stone, and did he really get Frankie Monet a title match against Raquel Gonzalez? I was thinking, really? I thought something was going to happen. And no, it's confirmed that next week she's going to defend, she's going to challenge Raquel Gonzalez. What did Frankie Monet do? She's not undefeated. She lost, I think, her last match. You know, she's a former champion in Impact Wrestling. I mean, is that her pedigree? Is that like, oh, she's a champion from someplace else? So let's, you know, think a little bit more time. I think. I don't think she's been. I don't think she's wrestled any top tier talent. I don't think she has. You know, so how has she proven herself? Robert Stone that much of a guy that can haggle a what do you call it, a title match, and get his client, or I don't know if that's his client, but get Frankie Monet. You know, I mean, this is probably going to get him in her good graces up until the tag team. I mean, up until the title match next week when she loses. I don't know if Frankie, if Raquel Gonzalez is going to lose to her or drop the title to her. I don't think so. But we'll see. Now, Smash Mouth versus Innovation, Ground and Pound versus High Flying, because it's Lorkhan and Birch versus MSK for the NXT Tag Team Championship. And it was a very, very, the match was okay. A lot of typical stuff from Birch and Lorkhan, and the typical stuff from MSK. But did their individual talent and offense and all that they bring to the ring, did it mesh? You know what I mean? And I hear this is awesome chants, and I'm like going, really? I hate when chants happen just cause. We want to chant because we hear on TV when I'm not at the event, I hear people go, this is awesome. I hear people say fight forever. I hear people say one name and then they say the other name. So when I go there, if I hear someone say a name of one opponent, I'll do the other side. Like it doesn't, when they do it and it doesn't have a place for it at that point, if they're just doing it just to doing it, it really, really does not make any sense and it's so fucking annoying. You know, this is awesome. No, it wasn't. This is decent, yeah. This is okay, yeah. But like I said, these two teams did not mesh. You know what I mean? Yeah, they brought their like I said, their individual offense, the way they wrestle. But it's like I like to see Birch and Lorkhan against the Undisputed Era, like with Kyle O'Reilly and Bobby Fish, like that type of a matchup. If MSK is gonna go at it, I want to see them go up against another high flying team or another team that can counter and actually go toe to toe in the sense of the moves looking good going at them going at each other. But like I said, this match was okay. It was okay. I mean, I expected more out of these two teams. And then something that I definitely expected. Dunn and Holland are right there, up against the rope, looking at the MSK. And then in between them is Danny Burch, and as he stands up, you know, Pete Dunne is like kind of putting his hand on the shoulder, looks at, Ridge Holland, nods his head, and then Ridge Holland does that whole, push, push headbutt. Looks like he headbutts the guy right on the eye, like he kind of turns the guy's head and then he just pushes him away. He does that, and then they take out Birch, and then they also take out Lorkhan. And then Ridge Holland, they're about to step out. Ridge Holland comes back in because he sees Danny Birch getting up, and then he headbutts him again. And I'm like going, I expected this much. I mean, it's like I had a feeling that was going to happen. I always have had a feeling about that a couple of times before. But when you see how the angle where Birch was, he was about to step up. He was about to get up, and he's right in between Dunn and Holland. I said, this is it. These guys are going to get turned on, they're going to get betrayed. And they did, and that was to be expected, like I said. And also, he expected, Pete Dunne said, don't only go out there and get your titles, but I want you to take them out. That's what he said to MSK. He's take out MSK. Don't just take their titles. And what did they do? They not only didn't take them out, and also they didn't win the titles. So he disappointed Pete Dunne. I guess I don't blame him for doing what he did. So, we'll see what happens as the weeks go by. And or Birch and Lorkhan are going to stand because of this? Are they going to feud with Pete Dunne and Rich Holland? You know? But yeah, I enjoyed NXT. I always do. I had there were some issues I had here, but you know, I can kind of write that off. I can go like this. It'll be next. Let's look towards next week. Not like Raw, where it's just like again, the, you know, like. But here I don't do that. I don't do it on NXT UK. I don't do it on SmackDown normally. Like last Friday I did, but you know what I mean. Like I don't know what's going on. You know, with the other show, especially Raw. But NXT was good, and NXT did what it should do, entertain us, wrestling. Um, two good title matches. I mean, I wish one would have changed hands. I mean, it would have made this night even more special. But I don't know. I guess they want to keep Io Shirai saying, "I don't like you." I respect you, but I don't like you. Like, she's gonna keep saying that the whole week. It's gonna get old after a while. Like we get it. You don't get along with people. Like, was she ever like that before? Even when she was a babyface, not really. When she was a heel, yeah, she was like she didn't want to be around people. It's like you're like technically you're a babyface, but then you're saying that you don't like Zoe Stark, you don't get along, and then like what's going on with that? Like I thought they were gonna drop the title, and then maybe Io Shirai and Zoe Stark were gonna start feuding. Because I think that Keith Canzaro and Kate Carter really are a great tag team in the women's division. They've been together since day one. They've been getting better and better. Even Beth Phoenix and Wade Barrett were giving them nothing but praise and kudos and all that. So when are they going to get their due? Hopefully in the near future. But they're going to probably continue it and with the champs, and they're going to end up disintegrating. And then what's going to happen is that they're going to lose the title because of their constantly hitting button heads, and then they're going to have a rivalry or a feud. We'll see what happens. But anyway, that's my video for NXT for the what day was that? The 7th. Yeah, the 7th of September, 2021. So for those of you who stopped by and checked out my video, appreciate it. And in closing, as always, take care.